Hello everybody, welcome back to Eau Brink Studio. My name is Anita O'Neill and I'm the owner of the studio, and we are based in West Norfolk. Today I'm going to follow on from the video I posted last week about using up your scraps, only this time I'm going to show you another thing that I'd like to do, and that's to make postcards with your scraps. This postcard's been made using scrap fabrics that have been then bonded onto a backing, and then I've embroidered a flower which I've then stitched on. That's all it is. And the idea that I have got at the moment in my head is that I will give away some free kits to anybody that visits me at any of the shows or my shop or the studio or anywhere it's an in-person thing. And you get this free kit, which I would like you then to make one postcard, and then throughout the year pop it back into an envelope and send it back to me, and then at the West Norfolk Textile Fair next year we will make an exhibition of them all. So I'm quite excited about this because I will be putting the scrap packs together for you to do this, but what you do with it is up to you. So today I'm just going to give you some ideas to show you what you can do and how you can make some things up. So if you're ready, we'll get started. So the first question most people ask me is what's going to be in this kit. So I have here some samples. So this is your backing. So as you can see, that's the back of your postcard. Then there will be a piece of interfacing. One side of it is shiny, so that's a gluey side, and you would glue that onto there. If I can get that straight. So you would glue that onto there, so that would be your backing. So this side is the side that you will decorate or sew. So that's the dull side, not the shiny side. Okay, and in your pack you'll find that you've got a selection of fabrics. So they'll all be different. Each pack will have different fabrics in them. So you may have a piece of lace, you may have a piece of this really nice tweedy stuff. This is an offcut from where I'm making my posh peg bags, so these have all been stitched together. You know, and you might think that they would make a nice background for you to put something on. You may just have a piece of lovely Lewis and Irene fabric. You'll definitely be getting some of this, which is wet wipes that have been used to mop up the tables and mop up any spills that we have. You may have some cotton fabric that's been used for making chair seat covers. You may have some blingy fabric, which is quite nice too. You know, so the idea is that you actually make everything up yourself from the items that we have supplied for you. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to show you how you can just get some simple paint technique onto your background, and I'm going to use a Bister spray. The Bister that I'm using is this product, which comes from Tex, which is really lovely. So I'm just going to adjust the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. So that's the shiny side, which of course we don't want to use. We're going to be using this dull side. I've got some paper down because I'm going to be spraying this spray all over it. And that's that. Now we'll wait for it to dry. So once this is dry, which this is now, I did waz it over a bit with the hairdryer so that to speed the process up a bit. The next thing you've got to do is decide whether you're going to stitch on it or if you're just going to use a product like Vilene or something like that to iron onto it, or how you're going to start to decorate it. In your kit, one of the things that I will be adding is a hand-dyed threads that I make, so you'll get whatever colour comes, and then you can think about stitching into it too. So this, where have I put it? Goodness me, here it is. So this is the die that I have used. It has got these birds on branches. I'm not going to use this bit here, I've just used the outside bits, and the results are quite delicate little birds on branches, which I think are quite pretty. I'm not sure if this one will stand up to it, but you can sort of see. And the backing is the violin, and the front is the wet wipe that I've used on here. So I'm just going to adjust the camera angle so that you can see how I'm going to put it together on here before I decide to stitch it. So now you can see I've got my paper and I've got my little bits that I have made, which are quite delicate, and here is my backing. So the first thing that we need to do is audition it. So we take the backing paper off our pieces that we've cut using a die cutting machine. If you don't have a die cutting machine, it doesn't matter. If you can draw these shapes and then cut them out, then you can do that. But always iron the violin on first. It makes it easier for them to cut. So I'm just carefully taking this backing paper off. And there we go. So we'll move that over there because we don't need it. And now I have to decide where I'm going to put this. So I may bring it in here like this. And the one thing you do have to remember is that you want the violin backing face down. So again, I am going to take the backing paper off this one. This one should come off a bit easier because it's a little bit bigger. There we go. Peel that off carefully. So this is our next bit of tree, and then taking the paper off these, I then need to just decide where I want them, and do I want another one, because I usually have 3. This is going to give me 4 birds, so I might want to have another one, but we'll see. Maybe if that bird's coming in from there, it wouldn't look so bad. So that is my front. And what you do now, just fold the paper over and very gently run it over with the iron. There's no pressure on this iron at all because all I'm doing is melting the glue. To stick those on. And there we have that. So now, if I want to add this onto the back, just lay it on. This paper is here purely to protect your iron. Again, I'm not putting any pressure on this. I just need the glue that's on the backing to melt and stitch and stick. Like so. So here is the beginnings of my postcard. So now I've got a cutting mat out. This is a turntable cutting mat. So all I need to do is pull those 2 in. And as you can see, this now turns, which is lovely. So on my postcard, I'm just going to trim the edges. When you're using one of these cutting systems, you always cut away from you. That one has a guard on it, so I don't have to worry about the guard. Turn that around and line it up, trim it. Okay, let the blades do the work for you. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on them. Unless your blade's blunt, which this one probably is. Didn't do a very good job there, Anita. And there you have a very basic postcard. Postage stamp bit goes there. It is the correct way up. I can now put acrylic wax on this, which will seal it. No stitching involved, because we don't have to stitch if we don't want to, because the idea of this is to make these from all different ways, so that lots of different people who have different crafts will hopefully get involved. If I wanted to add stitch to it, I would just stitch each of these, and you'll see at the end of this video that there will be a number of these already made, and I may stitch around this outline either by hand or on machine. So you can stitch them just using a basic blanket stitch with this going all the way around, and then we can just stitch into here. You can add some beads, you can add all sorts of things really. So that's one way of doing them. So I have also just did this one for you. So this is where I've used a stamp, and it's just a bog standard stamp, see? That's all it is. So using Stays On, I've stamped it onto some scraps of this, which is the wet wipes that's been used. I've then machine stitched it. I've then cut out some little birds using one of these, and then I've stitched them, and then I've elongated the tree to make it look like that they're sitting on a tree with the grass in the background, and then just coloured them in really. So that's one way of doing it. This was the one we did earlier, and this one I've now put some acrylic wax on it, so that will seal the front of that. So the only stitching is around the outside. There isn't any other stitching on there at all. And then there's this one, which I'll hold it up there. So this has got a background of the wet wipes on it, and then I have machine stitched, I'll bring that in closer for you. So that's a machine stitched flower on there, and which I've made using organzas and somebody else's print block, and again using Stays On, and then you just machine stitch it, colour it in, and then using a soldering iron you can cut it out. So that's just 3 options. There are many things that you can do with them, and I would so love it if you could collect one from somewhere from me and then stitch it. You've got a whole year until the next exhibition that we'll be doing at the West Norfolk Textile Fair, and I would love to have hundreds of them in the exhibition. And once the exhibition is over, I will post them all back to you. So long as I know where to send them to, they'll all come back to you, and they'll all be photographed as well. So there'll be a big photograph with them all in, and you can then be able to see your own. So I'm hoping that you would have a go at this. How you do it is up to you. You might just want to quilt it. You know, if you've got a piece like this in your pack, you might just want to put this on and then just quilt it. You know, that'll be fine. You may want to just lay some strips of lace on there. You know, this lace looks really lovely when you put it over. See that gold? I mean, that's so pretty. So there's lots and lots of options. There are no rules. The only rule is that you have to come and collect it in person, so that I know that they're going to people who genuinely want to have a go at doing this, and I really do hope you will. Watch out for the blog. If you've signed up to the Eau Brink Studio subscription, where you get all the emails and things like that, then this will be explained in a lot more detail. If you haven't subscribed but you want to have a go, You'll find me at many of the fairs at the NEC. I'm at Farnborough. I'm at Textiles East, which is on in February. I'll be at the West Norfolk Textile Fair, and I'll be in my studio many times, and if I'm not here, I'm sure I can arrange for somebody to be in here so that you can just collect it. And I'll also be at Deepdale and probably a few other places. So ping me an email or a message and just ask me where I'll be, and if I'm in your area, then I'm more than happy to bring them with me. If you're part of a group like a WI or some sort of craft group or stitching group or something like that, again, send me over an email, and I can make a collection of these kits up for you. They'll all be different, how many you want, and then if you just let me know where you'll be, and then we can arrange for me. I'm not going to post them out because the postage will be far too expensive. Unless you send me a stamped addressed envelope, then of course I'll happily post them to you. So join in, let's have a bit of fun, and let's have a fabulous exhibition at the end of this. Thank you for watching.